I have wet myself on stage twice. Hey, welcome to episode 103 of Front Seat Gamer. I'm Nick. I'm here with Saveun.
Yo.
And Blake.
Hey.
How's it going, guys?
It's going well.
Good, yeah.
Good,
Yep.
good. You guys been playing anything?
yeah. I've been playing stuff.
Pause?
We've all been. I think we've all been. It's been like, geez, over a month.
Been a while since we really talked about games you've been playing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Last time we just talked about games we watched.
We started, we were going to talk about games you've been playing, but then we just ranted about,
Then suddenly E3 came out.
we talked about how wrong Dane was about Zelda, if I recall. That was my memory of it. So what you been playing, Blake?
I've been playing the DLC for Pathfinder came out.
Okay, yep.
I'm playing a bit of that. And I've also been playing a game called My Time in Porsche.
I don't know how you find these games. I've never heard of this.
Look it up. You're
I
gonna
have
look it
to-
up. You're
I
gonna
have
be
to
like,
Google this
what
kind
the
of
fuck?
All right.
Explain.
It's a
Wait. How'd you find this game?
it's just Steam.
They just recommended it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like you know how Steam just like you put something on your wish list and then it recommends you other things like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just one of those.
You're like, I like Porsches.
Is it about the car?
No,
Okay, I didn't
it's a
think
town
about
called Porsche, or some characters in it call it Portia. So,
it. Okay. What kind of game is it?
it's a Harvest Moon, I think. Basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So you play as this guy that inherited a builder's workshop, and this town has like several builders in who build stuff for the town. They put up a commission.
Yep.
Which is like a quest, and it's like build some stuff. Build some stuff,
Uh-huh.
and you take it, and then you build
Steady
it.
stuff.
Yeah, it's just some stuff. You take it, you build it, and then
Yeah.
they give you money for it. And then
Okay.
there's like events throughout. Like, I've never played like what did I say? Harvest Moon? No, Harvest Moon and Animal Crossing. I've never played
Yeah.
Animal Crossing, but I think it's like that where like
I've
there's a
played a lot of
calendar.
Animal Crossing.
There's a calendar and like things happen on days, and if you miss it, then you miss it, kind of thing. Like there's a town meeting that happens
Right.
at a certain time, and if you miss it, you just miss it.
Yeah.
But you get a letter in the mail saying like,
Right. But so I mean, Animal Crossing. The way all that works is it happens in real time.
yeah, this is still real time.
As in, like, if it's a Monday in real life, Monday the 2nd of June or whatever.
Yeah. Oh
It's Monday the 2nd of June in game.
no, it's
Okay.
not that.
Yeah. So
It's-
what you're describing is probably more like Harvest Moon, where
Yeah.
in game there's a calendar and there's a clock. And
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't run on a 1-to-1 scale.
Yeah, maybe it is more like Harvest Moon
Yeah.
then. Yeah, and so you're basically just like building out and upgrading this workshop so you can build bigger and better things.
Yeah.
Doing jobs for
And now,
people.
you keep saying things and stuff.
Yeah.
What are you building? So give me an example.
Okay, so one of the commissions was to build a bunch of like transport cars, like little 3-wheeled like public transport cars, like golf carts.
Okay.
So you're building golf carts for this town, and there's several other builders in town, and so the mayor announced that we're gonna make this public transport system.
I'm the
That's
mayor. We need golf carts.
Yeah, he's like we're gonna have this public
Was
transport.
he even elected?
I didn't vote for him.
Not my mayor.
Not my mayor. He wanted to put up a wall somewhere. Actually,
all of his commissions are build a wall.
yeah. Actually, it's kind of the opposite. The first like mission or commission from him is to build a bridge.
Build immigration.
Yeah.
Build relationships.
Oh shit.
Ooh. Oh.
Well, actually, you are building relationships throughout that
Ooh.
game. Like every single character in the town has like relationship meters, and
Yeah.
every time you talk to them, you get a little +1 of their.
Do you
on
get to
their thing.
visualize that?
What's that?
Is it like visualized in a bar or something?
Yeah.
Like
If you go to your menu, you basically see a
I see.
lineup of all the characters and
Cool.
how much
Mm.
how much of their relationship bar you have filled up.
Right.
Cool.
It sounds quite a lot like Harvest Moon, which of
Yeah.
course also Stardew Valley. I think.
Yeah,
which
I
is,
think Stardew Valley is quite a
deeply
lot like that.
inspired by
Yeah.
Harvest Moon.
And there was like farming and stuff as well. Like
Right.
you can build. So far, I can build just like potters, like little plant boxes.
Okay.
So like little gardens.
Yeah.
And then you can build like one crop in there and stuff. But I haven't learned how to make food yet, so I don't know. Like
Seeds, I think.
How do I build corn?
I can grow stuff.
Okay.
Like, so I can grow wheat and corn and potatoes and all this stuff.
Your character just picks up and goes, I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah, I'm kind of like,
Just throws it
I don't
away.
know. And I've got a commission right now to make like a fruit like tart, and I have no idea how to make it.
Who's commissioning a fruit tart?
Oh, this was.
Oh, I'm the mayor.
Well,
Now
this-
that we've got these golf carts, fruit tarts.
Well, there's different kinds of
Is
like.
it only things that rhyme?
Not always, but there's
Mini Mart.
yeah. There's different kinds of like commissions. So you have like the public transport ones were like an official commission that was put on the commission board that you take. And what's cool is that like there's other builders in the town, and there's a ranking system between you and them. So
Okay.
you can view basically a leaderboard of who's the top builder.
How good you are at.
Yeah,
as a-
and-
so you're competing with the AI.
Yeah, you're competing with the AI, but they also take commissions as
Sure.
well. So you'll see the board, and it'll be like, I think it was like 5 commissions to begin with. And if you take too long, like the
They'll start
commissions will
snapping them up.
disappear, and so that's cool. But then there's also like, just talking to characters throughout the town, you just get jobs from them. That
Right.
are not.
I've heard you've
Part
done
of
a
the
really good
commission.
job with these golf carts. Now I've got a similar task: bake a fruit tart.
Yeah. Well, it's. I mean, it's not like that. There's a little bit of a story behind like each one of these
Sure.
things, but not like, hey, you did a good job fixing my my horse pen. How about you like grow some wheat for me or something? Like, yeah.
And then you got to bring the grain here because you don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. But there's dungeons as well that you go into, so there's weapons that you craft.
Okay.
I've got an
Yeah.
iron.
Have you played Stardew Valley?
I haven't.
Okay. This is
But
apparently very.
Yeah, it's
very
very
alive.
much
yeah,
like Stardew Valley. Yeah.
I really should play that. Everyone I've talked to loves Stardew Valley.
Yeah. I haven't played Stardew Valley, but everyone says it's
Yeah.
really good.
I mean, Harvest Moon had like a sort of dungeony. I played quite a lot of several different Harvest Moons, and I think I've talked about this in the past. I always get to a point where it's like your farm is big enough and productive enough that if you don't spend every spare moment and every step efficiently,
Yeah.
you start losing
Yeah.
like crops or whatever. And
Well,
I
I
always
think,
hate that, and I always hate it.
Stardew Valley, I think you end up being able to automate a lot of the.
You
A lot of
kind of
stuff.
could in Harvest Moon as well, sort of. Like you could befriend elves
Yeah.
or gnomes or something, and then they would do that. But to do that, you had to like bring them gifts
Yeah.
regularly throughout the
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
And it was
Well,
huge pain.
that's the thing that I'm a little bit, kind of like annoys me a little bit in this game is that like the best way to build up a relationship with a character is to hope that like they come up with jobs for you to do. Because like talking to them, if you just talk to them, you get like +1 relationship.
Yeah.
You can like give them gifts and stuff, and that increases it. Or you can like play rock paper scissors with them,
That's
and that will like increase it. But it's like
Oh, just like real life.
just like real life. You can also spar. Like some characters like to spar.
What do you mean?
Like fight.
SPA.
Wow.
Yeah, like
totally
fight.
Hot tub.
Not going. Hot tub. Some people like to go in the hot tub.
That's cool.
That's makes sense to me.
But yeah, some people like to fight so that if you fight them, you'll raise your relationship with them.
Yeah.
But that is like so slow because it's like just +1 every time.
Okay.
And these bars, when you look at them, are like freaking massive. But when you do a job for them, it's like +10, +20 or something
Right.
like that. So that's the way to go. But those just pop up randomly.
Right.
Like you just you'll just be running around like doing, stuff for another job. And then you'll just see like an icon on the map and be like, oh, what's this? And you go over and it's like someone has a thing that
Someone
they
needs
want you to do.
Someone needs a fruit tart.
One of them was like catch some chickens that had escaped. And
Okay.
another one was like, fix a barn. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds fun. What's the art style?
It's got good grass
it's
from
very
the images that I saw.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's
got
very
Zelda-y grass.
Is
yeah,
it
it actually
2D?
has
Is it like
no,
top
no,
down?
it's 3D. It's
Okay.
it's very cartoony.
Mm.
It runs like sporadically on my computer.
Mm.
Like I don't understand. Like I had stuff on like ultra high,
Mm.
and it was like weird janky at times,
Mm.
and so I was like turning stuff down to where it runs reasonably smooth. But every once in a while, I'll load it up, and I'll just have like a 5-minute load screen before getting into the game.
Yeah.
And then it'll just be lagging hardcore, and
You know,
I don't know what the hell's going on.
I have kind of that issue when I play games.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I'm installing it on a spinning hard drive.
Oh yeah,
Could that be an maybe? what's
yeah,
going on
it
there?
might be because I'm not installing it on my SSD.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for the operating system. It's
Yeah.
for the SSD. Got to load that Windows real fast.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That could be it.
Because I was streaming, and I was playing Life is Strange, and there would just be like this occasional hitch
Yeah,
in cinematics.
yeah.
Were you also recording?
Yeah, but that doesn't really seem to interfere.
If you're recording off of the same drive that you're playing things from, that can cause problems.
No, it would happen when I'm not streaming as well.
Okay, interesting.
And there's there's little cutscenes in it as well. And before, like, it takes a long time. Well, it's jarring to load a cutscene because it'll just freeze
This
with
sounds
no
like
no loading bar or anything.
It sounds like a hard drive.
Do you remember?
Yeah, and then the cutscene will happen, but I'm sitting there going, "Has my game just crashed? I don't know, like what's going on."
I mean, what that reminds me of is like PlayStation 1 days when you'd be playing like Final Fantasy, and then it would suddenly freeze, and you go, "Oh my god, it's a cutscene!" and you get so excited.
yeah. Now it's like
I
now
call
I'm
my
like,
brother, and oh my god, I think there's a cutscene.
dude, Final Fantasy, especially Final Fantasy VII, that was like the cutscenes were your reward for getting through the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But this game also has, like I mentioned, it has dungeons and stuff that you
Yeah.
go through, and
actually had a quick look on Google. Looks pretty cool.
yeah, it's cool. I think I think I found it. It showed up on my similar games that you've played because I played a couple years ago a game called Yonder, and that was when we were like hardcore into doing into finishing Act 5 and all of that.
Right.
And I was like putting a lot of hours into work, and I was just like, man, I just need to like play something, chill out
Yeah.
at the end of the day. And it was like this Yonder game that I was playing, and
If you're looking for a chill out game, and I know that, Blake,
What do you got?
you're
I love a chill. I love a good chill.
You love a good chill.
Yeah.
And you're looking for another game.
I love to chill and relax.
You're looking for a game that'll make you buy a Switch.
Oh yeah,
Animal Crossing's coming out next year.
Yeah, that's not gonna. Oh, I have to see it. But I'm gonna buy a Switch.
What sold it?
It was Pokemon,
Yeah.
and it was the promise of Breath of
another
the Wild
Zelda.
2. Yeah,
Oof.
but then I'm like, man, if I buy it, and then in like a year they're like Breath of the Wild 2 coming to the Switch too, I'll be like, mother.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Nintendo, you got me, bastard.
Got me again.
You got me again. Oh, but I've also been playing the DLC of Pathfinder.
Yeah. So
The Endless Dungeon that I was talking about.
yep.
And I've been enjoying it. I think it is exactly what it said it would be, and I'm kind of disappointed.
Darn it! This is what I bought. Ugh, I hate
Because,
when
like,
that happens.
It was like it is an endless dungeon, but it's just like you start off, you go into a room and you're like fight some guys, and there's a door that leads to a short corridor that might have some traps in it, and then there's another room with some guys in it that you fight, and then there's a corridor with maybe some traps in
Right.
it,
So
and there's
it's
another room that you know,
It's got
and
a very strict structure. That
yeah,
it
yeah,
follows.
and you keep like going down and go deeper.
Right.
So you're going downstairs into other, and then the dungeons. They're all. I'm only at like dungeon level like 8 or 9, I think. But I've seen a few different types of like
Like biomes.
dungeon, biomes, yeah. But essentially, it's kind of been all the same.
Yeah.
And I was hoping for more of like, because the dungeons in Pathfinder like proper
Yeah.
have like little stories that are happening in there, little like puzzles to solve, like little secrets to find.
Right.
And there is some secrets to find in this game, like there's hidden like walls and rooms. But there's no like you walk into a room and you know there's like
There's not much
a
intrigue.
weird puzzle to figure out. Like there's You just fight monsters, keep moving, fight more monsters, keep moving.
I wonder if as you go deeper, if that will open up a bit. 'Cause
Maybe.
I wonder if it's like every 10 levels or something.
Yeah. I don't know. That's the thing. I just gotta keep going. But I am enjoying it, and it is like I remember complaining that there's so many classes in the game, and I felt like it would be good to have a demo of like
Right.
what the classes would play like.
Yes.
This is kind of very much that because you level up way faster than the normal game. I think I'm already at the level I am now in the game, and I've only been playing it for like a few hours.
Right.
Compared to like the actual game when I've been playing for like 80 or something.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's pure combat, not
It's
RPG
pure
stuff.
combat. There's no like, well, there's characters that you're told about in the dungeon that are like the bosses, so they might have some personality, because the main NPC that's like guarding this dungeon, he has his, he's got a backstory and stuff like that. So when I get to those characters, they might have some, role
There might
playing.
be some RPG
Yeah,
stuff
there might
there.
be some stuff in there,
Right.
but you're not like you're creating characters from scratch to go in.
Yep.
To go in there, so
Yep.
like
so
they're
your
not.
backstory doesn't exist.
Yeah, they're not pre-made characters or anything. There's no, so that means there's no like story between the characters or anything like that. There's no like relationships or anything, any missions like that. It's just like, here's some characters that you've made, go in there and fight some monsters.
Yep.
And that's that is what they said it would be.
And now you're bummed that.
But
you
I was
bought
just
the thing
like,
that they said you were going to buy.
I
and with
kind of
it
just thought it would be a little bit more
meaty.
little bit more story happening there, a little bit more intrigue in those dungeons, instead of just like you're just fighting your way through.
This really does feel like your fault.
yeah, probably, yeah. But
no,
it is good. I have been enjoying it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just bought Pathfinder with all of the DLC.
Oh shit!
'Cause
You just bought all the DLC right off the
It
bat.
was 44% off.
Man.
So I thought, why not?
I very rarely do that for a game I've not played.
Well, you've recommended it
Yeah.
pretty heavily.
Oh boy. Next
so-
podcast, you're just gonna complain at me.
Yep. That's what next episode is going to be.
Yep.
Look forward to that. I haven't actually played it yet, but I do expect to hate it and
You actually
Blake.
hate Dungeons and Dragons?
I hate RPGs.
More of a Halo guy.
I hate story. Saveun, what have you been playing?
The most notable game that I finished during the last time we talked about games was What Remains of Edith Finch.
Oh shit!
I'm not sure if you guys heard of this game.
I haven't.
Didn't you talk about this a while back?
No, don't think so.
No. What was the one?
There is an Ethan Carter one.
Oh yeah, no, it was Ethan Carter that I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a whole different thing. This
okay.
is made by Giant Sparrow.
Right.
They
okay.
made
Wow, a giant sparrow?
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
and
How do they train it?
a previous game they worked on was The Unfinished Swan for PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's a good game. I'd recommend it.
What are you doing in it?
You just it's very heavy on story.
Yeah.
It feels like a Firewatch kinda. It's very indie.
Is this sort of a walking sim?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
And you're just walking through and discovering more about this family.
Right.
But it's nice. It's a condensed game. I think probably 4 or 5 hours sort of thing.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
It's polished. So the quality was actually quite good for what it was. I don't even know how I came across it, but it was just I don't know. Somehow I picked it up, played it over a weekend, and loved it.
Man, I really like those quick games that are just like, I feel like I've had a delicious meal that's just so satisfying.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know?
I must have played it like 3 weeks ago, and I'm still thinking about
Yeah?
it. Yeah.
That's the sign of a good game,
yeah.
or at least a good story.
It's full of mini games.
Okay.
So you kind of you'd go into a room or of the family, or
Yeah.
just a member of the family, and then they have their own quirk, and then you play this random mini game that kind of is in that theme.
Yeah.
That can be quite hit and miss, though. I played a game called Jazz Punk.
Hmm.
I think did I talk
that
about
was
this one?
you did. That was what a masterpiece of a game.
No.
I've never heard of this
So
game.
good.
Is it?
I haven't played it.
It's fine.
I've watched it.
It's weird,
Mm.
and it's got little mini games in it. But the story is extremely, I guess, like outlandish, kind of surreal, and not very well tied together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wasn't like
Yeah.
super blown away by it.
So what's the mini game that
Oh,
can you think of? One?
There was a part where there's like a TV.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure, or maybe it's got like a video game console plugged into it or something, and you use it, and then you're inside of the TV,
Yeah.
and it's like a horror game where everything is made of pizza, and you've got, I think, a shovel,
Mm.
and you fight off pizza zombies, if I recall.
Wasn't there also one where you get a fly swat and you start swatting flies, and then you realize you can slap people with them, and then they turn around and like one of them
Yes.
turns around and their face is a fly, and then they fly off into the sky.
Yep, that's one of the things.
That sounds great.
It's real weird, and some of the mini games are quite cool, but a lot of them are just kind of silly.
There's definitely some weirdness in this game.
That's
Yeah.
good. I like some weird.
Is it all set in a house?
Yeah, but those little mini games can be wherever.
Okay.
Wherever that character has gone.
Yeah.
And you'll just sometimes play in their imagination as well.
Mm.
It's great. I hope I can pull off something that quality as well.
Wow.
With my own game. So it's very inspirational for
Ooh, are
me
we
to see.
we gonna hear some stuff about your game now?
I don't know, man. But I am trying to look for like a programmer. Shout
if
out.
you're out there and you know how to program, email
But-
frontseatquestions@gmail.com with
Uh,
I know how to program.
I don't think I'll have anything to show for like at least another year.
You've got a year to send in your resume.
Yeah.
But I'm at the with my game. I'm at this phase of, and I'm sure Blake kind of went through it, where you're new to 3D, and then you just start seeing textures everywhere, and you're
Oh.
like,
Yeah.
I've got a camera, and then you just start taking photos of
Yeah.
ground materials. So I'm there right now again.
You're not new to 3D though.
But it rekindled.
Rejuvenated your love of texture.
Yeah, but I'm also seeing like random things. So I'm trying to make an environment. And I was on Twitch the other week.
You're twitching?
I was twitching.
Yeah, so were you making a couch or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of cool.
That's twitch.tv/frontseatcast if you want to see Saveun twitching on a couch.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get many viewers?
Yeah, a couple, handful.
Oh, cool.
I feel like our time. What is it like?
Time zone?
The time zone difference
yeah.
is so much that
Yeah.
I only catch like a handful of people.
Yeah.
Mm.
But also, yeah, it's like Sunday morning here.
Mm.
Shout out Weezmon. He chimed in. He was in Canada, and after the stream, I just searched what time it was in Canada. It was like close to midnight.
I mean,
Oh,
Canada's
yep.
gigantic. It's hard. It could be anywhere between there's like a 4
Like
hour.
Maine, Canada.
There's 4 different time zones, I think, in
Right.
Canada.
But you know, it could have been
Yeah.
midnight plus or minus 2 hours on either side or
Okay,
whatever.
yeah,
You know,
that's fair.
that's pretty late.
Yeah, sure.
Mm.
I mean, 10. You know,
I think that was that was a tough thing when I was trying to figure out the best time to stream, because like if I do it after work,
Mm.
that's like 3 a.m. for like most like
Yeah, you really want
other
to do it.
places. You kind of want to do it in the morning, because
Do you want to do it in the morning?
I think
you kind of have to do it middle of the day, I reckon.
no, I
if you
think
wanna
the
get
I think the
US
morning
peak.
here before noon is like prime time for like US.
Depends on the part of the U.S.
Yeah, I mean depends on
It's
but
between
still,
a
it's-
5 and a 7.
it's
hour
it's
time
it's a period
difference.
where both places are awake,
Mm.
and it's
Yeah.
not like if streaming in New Zealand at what would be maybe convenient for us, you know, could be like 3 a.m. for
Right.
other places, you know.
It was good. I'm taking photos of like drains and things like that.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just trying to make like manhole covers.
Cool.
But
you're making an
also,
Ninja Turtles game?
Wait, have you seen interesting manhole covers in Auckland?
yeah,
Really?
yeah. Well, all of them are interesting, I think,
Oh, okay.
because there are ones where like you've got telephone cables underneath.
Yeah.
There are the ones where traffic lines are underneath.
Wait, are you opening them up? How are you
No,
seeing what's
I'm just taking a
underneath?
photo.
What the hell?
No, I'm just taking a photo of the covers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, you didn't deny that you're making a Ninja Turtles game. So I think we've confirmed Ninja Turtles.
We know there's
I can't-
walking because of the feet talk. Earlier.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you did just mention a walking simulator.
Can
Oh my goodness.
can I mention the thing you've told me?
No.
Oh man.
I think it's a walking simulator where you have to avoid open manholes.
Hey, who knows?
You're wearing sunglasses at night.
I'm
and
so
you have
far
to
away.
Avoid open manholes.
I'm so far away from having anything to show that
Yeah.
like I don't want to say anything, you know. But right now it's me playing around with random software.
Yep.
And I have you heard of this program called Substance Alchemist?
Oh, vaguely.
You know,
That sounds like a mobile game for sure.
It's vaguely. I don't know that much. I think is it supposed to like basically put all the substance like painter and designer somehow like combined or something like that?
kinda. I can see Nick zoning out.
Nick's just like looking at his shoe.
It's got a big hole in it.
It does
Get
have
a
a
new
big
shoe.
hole
Dude,
in
what
it.
you need is some steel caps.
I just bought shoes yesterday, but I decided to wear my old ones today
Wow.
because
Why?
I'm not ready to make that jump yet.
Yeah.
It's a big emotional leap.
It's just like I'm just going to Blake's. I don't need to buy
Yeah,
good shoes.
I'm not gonna show off. Who am I impressing?
Shoes with holes in and sweatpants.
Tell me about try and make this exciting for someone who does not care
Exciting.
about the.
You're
the
not gonna
tech.
care. You're not gonna care. Just
Yeah,
based on previous interaction.
But try to make me care. I want you to sell me on
Try to make
Substance
you care.
Alchemist. Yeah.
Have you ever wanted to make 3D or anything?
So yeah,
Textures?
actually, yeah. I remember I downloaded Blender years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I made a really spiky thing
Mhm.
that didn't look good.
That's
and
good.
Then I saved it, and I never opened it up again.
Alchemist, they had a really they kind of sold it on being a thing where you'd feed photos into. So
Okay.
take a photo of a thing, and it will use machine learning,
Photogrammetry style, or
single image.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was a very competent delighter, which is important for textures, as well as a.
When you say delighter, is it
it-
like removes the light?
yeah,
Okay.
Remove shadows, yeah.
Oh, okay.
hard light and shadows. So yeah, it would make textures for you. That was pretty much how it was sold. So it's got a very developed delighter as well as like a material to textures converter type thing
Right.
using.
So, for our listeners, I imagine that the usefulness of a delighter is when you're making a texture, you don't want it to look like the light is shining from a specific angle,
Yeah.
right? You want it to be able to support dynamic light,
Well, you want it to not have light or shadow,
right?
and you want to place your lights that will then light it correctly for whatever scene you have.
Right.
Does that make sense?
I think so. So basically, having a delighter means that you can actually have like a texture that you can do stuff with.
It means you can be a little more lazy when it comes to taking source images
Okay.
and then
Because
feeding it in.
before, right, you had to have extreme, precise
Yeah,
conditions to get
yeah.
no shadows. Like everything's like
You'd want to go out on a
evenly
cloudy
lit.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah. A very overcast day is
yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
Right. Fascinating.
So yeah, I was playing around with that, and
That's cool. Does that mean then that because you know how CG textures is a big resource for stuff.
Yeah.
And like
did
got-
you know it's not called CG Textures anymore?
wait, what's it called?
Textures.com.
What?
And
And drop the
it's
CG?
It's been textures.com for like 4 years,
Oh my god.
4 or 5 years.
I didn't
now.
know
You're
this.
out of the game, man.
Wow. It's always been CG textures to me. Oh my god.
Nah, bro.
Wow. Well, yeah, because they've got a huge library of just like photos of
Mhm.
textures and stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, because it was like shot for old processors,
Mm.
it just
Yep.
has like shadow and stuff on
Mm.
there, and some of them are tiling, but a lot of them are just like here's a cool looking wall.
Yeah.
But it's got shadow all over the place,
Right.
and like they've got like the PBR textures section now, and I was kind of like bummed that like they've got this huge resource of just like textures that are kind of like not really
They're
used.
obsolete now.
Yeah. But it sounds like you can just like put those into
You
alchemy and they're usable again.
can. Yeah, you can.
That's cool.
You can, but it's not. Yeah, I was sort of bummed out because there's a program back in the day called Crazy Bump.
Yeah, I
Sort of
I
the
remember
same
Crazy
thing.
Bump, yeah,
The D-Light is cool, and the way it like converts it from color to height and to normal and everything is, I guess it's a little better than average, but it's
Yeah.
not like outstanding or anything. Yeah. So that's my summary of this Alchemist thing.
That's cool.
It's not as reliable as you'd want it to be.
yeah.
Oh,
But it's still better than taking like 50 photos on an overcast day, waiting for an overcast day, and
Yeah.
then taking 50 photos of something.
Yeah. The way I use it or think of it is like if I'm making a drain.
Yep.
And it's like there is no quality or detail that I need to preserve. It just
Yeah.
needs to be like a black circle with some grates over the
Yep.
top. Then I could just process something instantly and then just use that straight away.
Yep.
So it's good for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Well, I've been playing Dead Cells and Cadence of Hyrule and Hearthstone.
Oh,
And I think other games as well. I've been playing some Path of Exile, of course.
oh.
Ask me questions.
What kind of build are you using in Path of Exile? Are you going Slayer?
No.
No?
I didn't go Slayer. I went Berserker, Cyclone,
Of course.
one-handed with a shield, which is... And I went heavy on the block. Not a good build.
Mm.
Wouldn't recommend. But it was...
Do you want to go on hard offensive when you're using Cyclone?
It depends. So I think you get some extra range with a two-handed weapon, which means a larger area of effect. So that's useful. Killing things is a good defense in Path of Exile because if it's dead, it can't hurt you, except for when it can.
Yeah.
But I'm playing solo self-found, and so I don't have like access to good weapons.
Yep.
So I just sort of went one-handed and shield, because I also wanted to see if I could make like a weirdly tanky berserker. It's fine.
Cool.
The build is fine. the game is good. I
Yeah.
like it. I've heard it's pretty good. It is pretty good.
What's the most creative build you've ever made in Path of Exile?
Me?
Yeah.
I was trying to make a like elemental equilibrium double brand character. The way that would work is now
Blake and I are looking at ourselves.
Yeah. So we I think it was a couple leagues ago, we released these skills called brands, which are spells that attach to an enemy
Yep.
and repeatedly cast on them, basically. One of them is called Storm Brand. It just sort of zapped the enemy it's on and nearby enemies. One of them is called Armageddon Brand, and like summoned a meteor that would land on its location. But because it was attached to a monster, the location was a monster. And Elemental Equilibrium is a keystone which causes enemies to have reduced resistances to elements of damage types they haven't taken in the last hit. In other words, if you deal lightning damage, they will take more damage from cold and fire.
Yeah.
But less damage from lightning. So
Yep.
the idea was to have both Armageddon Brand and Storm Brand hitting alternatingly, so that you.
Interesting. Yeah, that's cool.
But it didn't really work out very well.
Was it just not that viable, or were you just missing like certain uniques or something?
It's a timing issue. Armageddon Brand has half the frequency of Storm Brand, which means that Storm Brand would typically hit twice in the time that Armageddon Brand would hit once.
Right.
So I would get the benefit for one Storm Brand and
Yeah.
one Armageddon Brand, and then one Storm Brand would get like reduced damage.
Yeah. So it's not as optimal as you'd really
Right.
want. Yeah.
That's cool.
So that was sort of a weird one I was trying to make work. But because I usually play solo self-found, and even when I don't play in solo self-found, I don't trade.
Yeah,
So-
I don't trade either. I never trade.
When's the last time you played Path of Exile?
Not actually that long ago, but maybe like 2 months ago.
Wow, okay, that's kind of recent.
I still just like I play it when I'm editing the podcast. And
Interesting.
I'm just like on just like basic standard league, and I'm just running the same like character through. Yeah,
Maps and stuff.
I've not gotten to maps. Yeah,
Man.
I've never had a character that's gotten to maps.
Really?
Yeah, I have friends that have gotten to maps, but I've never gotten there.
You should,
Yeah, Dude, me neither.
Yeah.
And I've been there for a long time.
Yeah, what the heck, guys?
Yeah.
Play the game you work on.
Well,
Jesus.
The thing is, I experience maps through streamers.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just like, oh, what's this map I've worked on? And then like check it out on like YouTube or Twitch, and then be like, oh yeah, well,
Yeah,
okay.
it's not really integral for either of your jobs to have super good end game knowledge. But
I just want to see some of the like how players react to things that I've made. Like that's basically
right
my interest in it.
I think that's probably true of a lot of the people who work.
Yeah.
Really work on any creative endeavor, right? They want to see their work appreciated.
Yeah.
So I understand that. I've certainly Googled for people's reactions to various NPCs.
Yep. Any? Do people react to NPCs?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, like you. Oftentimes, there are variety streamers who will, at the start of a league, they'll actually listen to the character dialogue, which is very unusual for players of our game. And so I always like seeing what their first opinions are.
Yeah, are you just looking at their face as
kind
the
of
thing and being like, let me see your reaction?
Yeah, but also it's helpful to see, like, if they do skip past, do they still understand what to do?
Yeah,
it can actually be quite helpful for actually making my work better.
I remember my favorite reaction to anything I did was when Act 5 came out. I watched Ziggy stream through some stuff, and he was in the reliquary, and he was just like, it was like he was in an actual museum, and he was stopping at every like display case and zooming in and looking at stuff, and I'm like, yeah, this is like great.
Yeah.
Oh, and also in Reddit, there was a map I worked on last year, the Haunted Mansion.
Yes.
And I made the paintings change
remember.
when you get close to them, and
I remember we discussed some ideas for that.
Yeah, and it's subtle, like regular players that just blast through stuff won't notice, but then in Reddit, it's just a few people have noticed it, and they've pieced together like the environment, the storytelling I told through the paintings.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's like, all right.
Yeah,
that's pretty
great.
Cool.
That's really cool.
I always like that when people actually take the time to appreciate our very hard work.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen very often.
I liked people noticed the Dark Souls bonfire.
Yep. You're slipping references to other games in our game.
Yep. We don't often do that.
No, we don't.
But I felt like that was a perfect opportunity because that area had some skeletons that
they definitely look like
similar to Dark Souls ones.
Saveun, have you ever slipped any references?
No, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't do.
He's too professional.
That kind of thing. No, I don't. Like I guess I'm an artist. but for some,
you've really become a tech artist. I think. Like
you're
really into like developing the shaders and like new cool tools and stuff.
And also, I notice you go around and you keep people up to date with stuff.
I try to,
which is very helpful, I think.
So I don't get much time to actually work on a thing, but still enjoy it.
Yeah. You handle a lot of like characters though, right? Like,
no, not at all. What do you mean, like making characters?
No, not like overseeing characters get made. I thought.
Yeah, there was a lot of I think early. I can't even talk about some of the stuff because it ends up talking about this whole other thing.
Yeah.
But yes.
Great story.
I just can't talk about characters.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll tell you. Here's a reference I put in Legion.
Yeah.
So one of the characters is called Sekima Okuna.
Okay.
So she's one of the Sekimas. In terms of lore, she was the Sekima immediately after the Cataclysm. Big bad thing happens. Not very many survivors, but there are some survivors, and some of them are in Highgate, and now there's all these zombies, and so she is like one of the few surviving people. She's also the leader, and she's just trying to defend Highgate from zombies. And she rides on one of those Rexes, those giant dinosaur things that we have in Acts 9, I guess. And
I thought those were like armored rowers.
If you
the Marraketh.
Yeah. They're meant to be related to Roas. Certainly, there's some like relation there. But like a Roa has a giant wide shell with spikes, and a Rex is much more narrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
looks much more like
They're
kinda like
called Rexes.
RHEX,
Okay.
like Roa, RHOA.
Okay.
You know, like that was my naming for it.
Cool, cool.
It was like it's kind of like dinosaur-y Rex. Anyway, so the one she's riding, if you fight her, she's got like 2 phases, and at the end of her first phase, she jumps off of her dinosaur and blows it up,
Oh shit.
and she usually says something like "I'm sorry, Shio," which is the name of the dinosaur thing. Shio is just Yoshi with the syllables swapped around.
Come on, man.
And she rides a dinosaur like Yoshi. There you go. I
done.
put in a Yoshi
done.
reference.
You did it.
I did it. Finally.
When are you gonna get that Zelda reference in there though?
How do you know I haven't already?
Oh shit.
I don't think I have
The
actually.
next boss is named Ganon.
Non-Gan.
Ganon.
So Dead Cells is super fun, very difficult. I beat it on its easiest difficulty, unlocking the second easiest difficulty, and it's too hard.
Huh.
There is a GDC talk about Dead Cells. Did you?
I haven't. No.
Oh, okay.
What's it about?
Them making it easier, but still hard.
Interesting.
It's pretty cool.
They've got some interesting things they do with the difficulty curve, which I think they probably took a lot of lessons from Rogue Legacy.
Okay.
Rogue Legacy is a game that is quite difficult, but as you play, gets easier and easier because you unlock more and more things every time you die. And Dead Cells follows a similar structure, except you don't unlock them when you die. You unlock them when you progress between these certain stages. But it does get easier and easier because some of the unlocks are permanent and last between runs. But it is also brutally difficult just in general. It's just a hard game.
Do you like that kind of stuff?
I do, as long as I can make progress. As long as as long as the difficulty is expressed in a way that I feel like there is a way around it.
Yeah.
Isn't like, oh, I can beat this eventually. Which isn't necessarily always the case. There are games where like the difficulty comes from randomness. Path of Exile, for example, has some of that. And it feels like, oh, there's no way I could have done anything about that. Like you're fighting a boss, and it has a thing where it shoots projectiles at random in random directions or whatever, and for whatever reason, you just couldn't dodge them. It felt like there wasn't a way around it.
Yeah.
It's not really the case with Dead Cells.
Yeah.
Dead Cells, things are fairly well signaled. Although you do sometimes feel screwed by item drops. Your weapons, you can upgrade weapons and items throughout any given playthrough. And sometimes you just don't get good weapons. Sometimes you get weapons that don't suit your playstyle. Sometimes you get weapons that just aren't,
I mean, that's just RNG, right? Like,
yes,
that happens in
exactly
Path of
right.
Exile as well. Like,
yeah. But it's generally fine. Like most of the difficulty is things you can improve on. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
You've not played Dark Souls, eh?
I've played Demon Souls. I played a little bit of Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm trying to remember if it was Dark Souls 1 or 2.
Which one was it?
Which is the one where you turn into an egg?
One.
Okay, yeah, I played a little bit of that one. Not much.
Not your thing though, because like you're talking about like enemies being difficult, but their moves are telegraphed.
Yeah.
Like, well, like,
No,
that's
I
exactly
quite like
Dark Souls.
the combat in Dark Souls is interesting to me.
Yeah.
The things I don't like about Dark Souls are all the things that they don't express.
Yeah, like the egg thing.
Egg thing, but also like how much your class choice at the start of the game can matter.
Yeah.
And how heavily you could screw yourself by choosing the wrong class.
Yeah.
Whereas Dead Cells does not have something like that.
Right.
You always start off with sort of a blank slate character.
Yep.
You always have access to a decent-ish starting weapon and a decent-ish starting
Yep.
shield and a decent-ish starting bow. Like it gives you a good baseline, which is just not the case with Dark Souls in my opinion. There are ways you can really set yourself up to fail.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think that's good.
My first playthrough of Dark Souls 1, I started with a class that ended up just hampering me completely. Like I really didn't enjoy it. And then
Where it was like heavily armored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like
you got to go with the thing that has the least items, which is so
yeah,
like not well signaled. I
Yeah.
hate it.
we have no idea. Like that's a thing with. I mean, this is the thing I was like talking about with Pathfinder, where it's like here's a whole list of like a dozen classes.
Yeah, but
No.
I mean, if the designer has done their job well,
Yeah,
any class should be viable.
yeah, and I mean that heavily armored one is viable, but it's just like it requires a certain play style that you don't really understand.
Not just that. I mean, you say it's viable. It's maybe like if you're really good at Dark Souls, you might be able to make it work.
Yeah,
But what you're
but you
doing,
have to be really good already at Dark Souls. You
Right.
have to already know what you're in for.
But also, you're starting off. You're moving what are base attributes, like what are core to your character. You're moving some of that value instead into items,
Yeah,
which change frequently through Dark Souls, and so it's a bad value proposition, right? You don't want things. You don't want to like bank on things that you're going to get rid of,
yeah.
which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what some of those class choices
Oh yeah.
are, and I think that's bad design.
Yeah.
I would much rather see like a range of different classes that all have a couple items and they all have like particular strengths and particular weaknesses. Like this one's fast but doesn't hit hard, but it
Yeah.
has like a good helmet or something. Yeah, I don't know. And then this one's got good boots and hits real hard, but you know what I mean? Like
Kicks real tough.
Yeah. Real
Real
good
tough
kicks.
kick.
Got a real high kick.
Yep.
You know, I don't know. It's just
Yeah, all right. I'll just leave it there.
no. Go ahead. I'm curious. Go ahead.
I think you've got to figure it out, right, with Dark Souls.
Yeah.
It like
Yeah, yeah.
that sort of is intentional.
Yeah,
of them-
But here's the thing.
I guess it kind of is like that. That's the thing. Like, I was having I was really struggling with that first character in Dark Souls. Like, I was not even getting past the first sort of like undead like little area.
Yeah.
And then I was like, why don't I just try another character?
Yeah.
And so I did, and then I was like, this
Yeah.
is so much better.
Yeah.
And then I just blew through.
and I think
everything.
that's just the unfortunate learning curve. that you
yeah,
have
it,
to
it
go
is. But
How
then-
many people don't say, "Why don't I just try another character?"
Yeah, I know.
And that's my issue with
yeah.
it. Is it's not signaled that you should try another character.
Mm.
There's nothing that says, "Oh, you're dying a lot here. Why don't you try someone who's faster?"
Yeah.
through. There is a certain amount of hand-holdiness of that. Would you like a prompt to appear and say, "Hey, why don't you try another character?"
No. What I would like is for your character choice to not impact you so harshly at the start of the game. And a part of it is also the hidden mechanics of like heavy items make you move slower.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing tells you that, right?
That really is the main thing. Like, if it was way more clear from the get-go that this heavily armored character is gonna be slower, and that's gonna be an actual major like thing.
But he hits harder, right?
I don't even think he hits that much
No,
harder.
really?
Yeah, well, because damage is all like, I suppose there was like some strength stuff, but like it's really more weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I don't even think he hits that much harder. He's just heavily armored.
Yeah.
So he can take more hits.
He can take more, and he starts off with I think he starts off with a shield when not all characters do.
Do you think the guys who put together Dark Souls were like, if we have this naked guy compared to this like full-blown armored guy,
Yeah.
which do you think the fan base would like pick out of these, given these two options?
Yeah.
And then just punish you because, of course, you're the guy who thinks
Yeah.
armor's hot
The,
shit.
the best character is the completely naked guy.
Yeah. I mean, there's like, I remember in like Demon Souls, the correct pick was like the spellcaster. You
Yeah.
choose the guy who throws fireballs,
Yeah.
and it's like, I don't know if you can choose a character that is covered in hidden mechanics that's gonna make your gameplay much harder. Nothing
Yeah.
tells you that. Nothing tells you to try a different character. That is bad game design to me.
And I mean, I like that. I think they might have just been banking on the visuals to be like, well, if you wore heavy armor in real life,
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to roll around
Right.
very fast.
But you don't have a frame of reference.
Yeah, no, you don't have a frame of reference because this is a video game, and like you can wear heavy armor in Skyrim and
Yeah.
sneak around and like
Yeah.
be completely fine.
You do actually move slower, I think, as Skyrim when you're in heavy armor.
But I mean, you can train your
Bad
character.
example.
Like in Skyrim, I just train my character to be like the master of everything.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
like you're going from that kind of like video game mindset
Right.
to a much more like based in kind of real world like heavy armor is gonna really impact you.
Mm.
Yeah.
I like what Dark Souls is doing.
Yeah, I do too. I really do.
I
like
love
it.
everything about it. So
Yeah.
when I hear that, I'm like, yeah, but like,
But it is that thing of like when you first load up the game, because I had no idea other than like this is a tough game.
Mm.
I had no idea that armor impacted your movement that
Right.
much.
Yeah.
And that's something that's very easy to teach as well. Like, you could easily have a character who is high strength and then a different character that's like high speed or whatever.
Mm.
And when you load in, both characters immediately get access to some heavy armor. And then you get to put it on and you get to see, oh, I move a lot slower.
Yeah,
And then you get an
I
opportunity
I
to,
like that where then the player is then choosing their
Right.
armor.
and that's it's a player doing the thing and seeing the results of it. You don't feel like you made a bad character choice. It's just a different style.
Yeah.
But that's not the case, right? So,
when I think of Dark Souls, I'm very much like, oh, it's a brutal game. I've been told it's brutal.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be learning curves for
Yeah,
days.
it is.
Yeah, but you don't know. Like, it's so much more brutal if you choose the wrong character.
Yeah.
And you don't know it.
I know, but then
That's
you do know it at some point, hopefully.
But no, how many people didn't? How many? There are so many people. Okay, so here's my example. This was my experience with Demon Souls. I'm sure I've talked about this in the past. Went to a friend's house. Demon Souls had come out. He had just beaten like the first boss or second boss or something like that. So he wasn't very far into the game, but he was very proud of himself. And I was like, "Oh, cool! Can I?" He was telling me about this game, so I was like, "Oh, cool! Can I give it a shot?" He said, "Yeah, sure." And I think I was trying his character, and I was like, "This is really hard." And I said, "Well, can I make my own character?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." So I chose like the lightest armored character or whatever, and it was super easy. Like,
Yeah.
it was. I beat the first boss really fast, and like he had no idea. There was
Yeah.
no way
He just
until
thought
I
that's
came
the
over and
game.
decided to make a new character
Yeah.
Yeah.
that he did not know that it had that much of an impact.
Yeah.
Here's me just been me. Sucks for that guy.
Yeah.
But how many other guys are there like that? What I'm saying is, you make this game, and if that's the mechanic, some percentage of your players is going to choose that character, have a really bad time, and not keep playing.
Yeah. No, I know.
It's just so I don't know. There are ways to protect yourself against that make the game better, in my opinion.
But I mean, it all worked out for FromSoft in the
It
end.
did.
Yeah.
Frustratingly, it did.
They're better off for it too. I think they
Yeah.
doubled down.
They've
in that.
yeah. It's just like it's because like FromSoft was a new thing.
From software.
From Software
Yeah.
was like you didn't know their brand, and now it's like if you play a game that's like no matter what it is, they brought out that samurai game, and they're like it's a From Software game, so you're like I know what I'm in for here, But before it was like here's this weird medieval like dark game called Dark Souls. I don't know what I'm in for.
I think it like kind of was viral when it came out.
Yeah,
Dark Souls, Demon
that's
Souls,
Demon
whatever.
Souls.
Yeah.
well, Demon Souls, yeah. But
Yeah.
I never played Demon. I've seen Demon Souls. It looks so fucking janky. And Dark Souls,
Yeah, it's pretty.
Dark
janky,
Souls
too.
is janky, and I'm looking at that going, damn.
Yeah. Yep.
But dude, have you seen Sekiro? And
yeah,
how good that looks?
yeah. It looks so good. I mean, even like
there's
Dark Souls,
some real jank in that game too.
Dark Souls 3 is like I think quite beautiful in places. Like it's a good looking game. I think.
Oh, in terms of art,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, sick. But like in terms of gameplay, there's like
Yeah.
real weird bugs and like,
In Sekiro?
yeah.
Yeah, but there are bugs in video games. Like I'll give it a pass.
There are.
I watched the compilation of that of just this one encounter where this dude comes flying out of the sky, and it's like the funny thing is it's like oh man that seems so unfair, but you hear him screaming for like 10 seconds
All the while.
before
okay.
before he hits you.
Yeah.
So it's like you gotta like it's just training you. You gotta be hyper aware of everything in that
Yeah.
game.
What if you're deaf?
Well,
Well, maybe you see a shadow above you.
like
Hey, that's how
I
they
don't
did
know,
it in
man.
Zelda.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
how they did it in Mario 64 as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
So you can signal it visually,
Yeah,
obviously.
those hand monsters in like the Shadow Temple in Ocarina of Time. You see the shadow appear under your character, and you know you're in trouble if you don't move. Love it, so good.
Is there a shadow link in Breath of the Wild?
Ooh, good question. You can dress up as Shadow Link in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, come on.
Like there's a pitch black outfit. There's also like a skeleton outfit, which I love. It's like a glow in the dark skeleton on it.
Yeah.
I don't think. Oh, I think maybe the DLC had one. I think.
A Shadow Link.
Yeah.
That's cool. I remember on the Nintendo Entertainment System watching my brother kill that guy.
Huh.
And that was cool.
A lot
it
of the
was
games
quite-
have a Shadow Link.
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time's Shadow Link fight in the Water Temple was awesome. It was like you enter this room and it's like they've got this fog effect, so you don't know where the walls are, and the ground is super reflective. This thin layer of water, and you just see it like a silhouette of yourself approaching you.
Huh.
Love it. So atmospheric.
Uh,
Such a great game.
Does Breath of the Wild have many Easter eggs to other? Like
Yes.
anything? Like
The DLC has tons.
yeah.
You can find Majora's Mask. You can
Oh, that's
find
cool.
like Midna's crown. There's like tons and tons and tons of.
What about other non-Zelda games? Can you find a Mario hat? Can you find a Dark Souls bonfire?
I don't know actually. I think there are other Easter eggs. Like they've got the Hylian text, which they've had in every Zelda game.
Yeah.
That has been decoded.
Oh yeah.
And so like you'll be like doing stuff with the Shake Slate or whatever, and there'll be this like alien text scrolling in the background.
Yeah.
And if you translate it, it says like all your base and like
Okay.
oh
wow.
and
That's
now
a-
loading and all sorts of stuff.
Was that the first meme?
You know what?
All your base?
It's, well,
It's
it's
the first-
certainly one of the biggest and earliest
Yeah.
internet memes.
I remember that. I remember for a little while because there was all these like images of like all your base being like like just randomly in
Oh, yeah.
places,
Yeah.
all photoshopped.
Yep.
But like at the time, I was just like, oh my god, someone just like wrote all your base on this like construction site or something.
I mean,
like-
you remember the music video that went with it?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yep. That's still a classic.
Yeah,
I watch it like in the last
daily.
couple of years. Yeah, I watch it every morning.
Every morning. It's my ringtone.
How I start my day. Cadence of Hyrule.
Oh yep.
That game is really fun. I played it co-op with my wife. Super good time. Very short though.
Is this the is that the Dynasty Warriors?
No.
No.
No, this is the Necro Dancer.
Cryptid and Necrodancer in Zelda World.
Okay.
So all the actions take place on a beat.
Mm.
And so like you have to it's all about tapping
rhythm
to the
game?
beat.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah. But also like it's about recognizing monster pattern movements.
Hmm.
Monster movement patterns. Monster pattern movement patterns.
Mm.
And sort of like puzzles is ways of getting around the terrain and that sort of stuff. And item management. A little bit of that. Not a lot.
Huh.
I saw that it looked like the whole map was just open from the get-go.
Yes, it is.
So you can just go anywhere,
You
really.
can go anywhere, and it's randomized as well.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, completely random world map every playthrough,
That's
and
cool.
even within the dungeons, each time you enter the dungeon,
Yeah.
it's randomized.
Oh, wow.
So if you go in and you fail, and you have to back out, or
Yeah.
you die or whatever, the next time you go in, it resets and
Oh,
it's a
wow.
different dungeon.
Hmm.
So there's quite a lot of replayability if
Yeah.
you're fine with, like, functionally doing the same storyline again.
Yep.
Like, and here's actually something interesting. My wife and I beat it, and then I was like kind of apprehensive about playing again because we beat it, but we started another game, and different monsters.
Oh,
Monsters
really?
I hadn't seen at all in the previous playthrough.
Oh, wow.
So I'm quite curious to see just how much there is that is hidden.
Is there a new game plus? So you...
So you retain all your stuff?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Uh,
No, but they've got different kinds of game modes. They've got a permadeath mode,
oh, wow.
which I haven't tried and probably won't. And they've got a double time mode.
Is that just a faster beat?
Yeah, twice as fast, and it's really really hard. We made it through a few screens.
Yep.
And then we were both like, "This is
Oh, wow.
this is not as fun."
So I haven't played that game, but I imagine you start nodding your head and tapping your feet
Yes.
to like keep the beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do actually. You find your rhythm. You
Yeah.
get into the zone, and then you have a really good time. But
Yep.
until that point, it's actually quite frustrating.
What's the shopkeeper songs like?
He he bellows.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
That's
can-
so good. Did you listen to that?
I did. You
so
sent,
good.
Blake sent me the.
I posted on Facebook as well.
Shopkeeper
Same
song.
one. Yeah.
It's. Yep. that exists.
It's cool because like in the game you hear him in the distance,
Yes.
and then when you get into his room, he's just like full volume, and he's just like, oh,
yeah, I don't
It's
know
so
why
good.
he's singing so much.
it's so good.
Blake gestured and it made it. Yeah.
He did it as if he was an opera singer.
Yeah.
That's how I would describe it.
Yeah, I've never played that game, but I went through a phase of just listening to that soundtrack.
I actually really love the soundtrack.
Yeah.
In the Cadence of Hyrule because it's Zelda classic songs remixed.
Yep.
Which is great.
That's cool.
No
No mobile games today.
Hearthstone.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I've been playing some other ones, but we don't need to talk about them. And in fact, I think we're out of time.
What's the latest in Hearthstone? Anything?
I think they just announced, or they've done a teaser for the next set,
Yeah.
which I loved their little teaser. Beautifully animated in a really simple way, and it's heavily hinting at a League of Explorers themed expansion.
Oh, okay.
League of Explorers is the Reno Jackson and Harrison Jones
Oh, yeah.
crew, if I recall.
Harrison Jones. Yeah.
Brand Bronzebeard, I think, is maybe.
I think there's a Bronzebeard in there.
Yeah. Elise Star Seeker. At least
I don't-
whatever. Anyway, should be good.
Yep,
Maybe.
Yep. What brought you back? I can't remember if you.
Rory had been talking about it a lot.
That's right. Peer pressure.
He kept asking me about it, so I was like, okay, I'll play some. Yeah, it was peer pressure.
Yeah. Because I remember there was not that long ago where you're like, nah, I'm just done with it. I'm just like, yeah, I'm
Yep.
playing Scrolls instead. It's like,
Oh yeah, that didn't last long.
wow.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Actually, you were talking about some of the repetitiveness of the dungeon crawler thing in Pathfinder.
Yep.
And how like in the story mode you go into these dungeons and there's like secrets to find, all this
Yep.
sort of stuff, and then in this other mode it's just like monsters corridor monsters. That's basically Blades. Blades
Right.
in the story quests.
Yeah.
There's cool secrets. There's environmental stuff to find.
Yeah.
And then every other type of mission, which is most of the gameplay, it's like there are 7 zombies in the dungeon,
Right.
and there's food hidden throughout it,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Uh,
And there are jars to break.
Yep.
There are no secrets. There's no story.
You're
Just-
just going through.
Yep.
Yep.
And you just do it over and over and
Yeah.
over again. The end.
Man.
Yep.
Talking about card games, did you try Gwent at all?
I didn't.
There's
No.
there's a proper like
They made it a standalone game.
yeah, there is a standalone game, but there's another one that has like some major like story elements to it and its own like unique little art
Oh.
style and stuff. I think it was something about something Throne, like Crown.
Is it the
Oh.
CD Projekt guys?
I think
Game of Thrones.
no.
Hmm.
Yeah, I can't remember if it actually is the CD Projekt guys. It
Huh.
might be some spin-off,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm not sure. I'll link it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is great podcasting.
Yep. Of me trying to describe something
Yep.
I vaguely remember.
Poorly described thing that you will send me specifically later.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to
All right,
Frenzy
I'll
Gamer.
post it. I'll post it on the Facebook as well, and
Okay.
then I'll send it to you.
That sounds good.
But like I also just realized that over like a year or two, we've had listeners write in about games that you should try.
And then I
mobile
never
games.
try them.
You never try them.
Never try
I'm gonna compile a list,
Okay.
and-
yeah, that sounds good.
and every episode, you're gonna I've played one, and then we can talk about it.
We've got our own list. I've been trying to get Nick to play Last of Us
Oh, man.
forever.
Hey, yeah,
Yeah,
you know what? give me a PlayStation.
You said you had a PlayStation hookup.
Yeah, maybe.
I could bring the game in.
Yeah, well, I do have to get on that game.
Mm.
Hey, but when are you gonna play Zelda? We should do a game exchange.
It's nah.
what?
When it comes to PlayStation,
yeah. You're buying a Switch.
Yep.
Are you gonna wait for this rumored second generation Switch?
Dude, I don't know. I'm gonna look into it
Mm.
and be like, okay, what are the rumors about this second gen Switch?
Mm.
Like, I
Mm.
actually
The
haven't
release
heard
date
any.
is
I'm
ma-
just
is
like,
important.
Okay.
I'm just paranoid.
Okay. But you'll just pick it up whenever you get a chance to get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've already looked on Mighty Ape, and I'm like, hey, this is pretty affordable.
Because I saw that trailer that Dane was talking about last week, the Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And I looked into it a little further. That looks good, and if it's 2 games, maybe I'll get a Switch. Maybe.
Ooh.
It depends on price point because I really would just be buying this crappy, god-awful console
Well, that's
for 2 games.
my 5-game rule, man.
They
That's why
say
I've
it's a
got that.
crappy god awful console, but everybody at work's been playing it and having a great time. They
Like,
take it
look,
to
man.
work with them.
Look, man.
Hey, and when was the last time you took your PlayStation to work?
Yo, hey. I'm not saying that, like, my preference is the same as other people at work.
Uh-huh.
But, man,
Your
at that
expectations
point, I think...
are groundbreaking graphics, but you're not going to get groundbreaking graphics on a portable console.
No, I know.
From what I've heard about, I was listening to the Giant Bomb guys talk a little bit about what they saw at E3, and there was a couple of games that were like chugging on the Switch.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, like Doom.
Yeah.
For one, and apparently the that Zelda one, the one that Dane hated, was like
Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening?
Yeah,
Chugging.
yeah.
Interesting.
Man, there's
Well, we'll
those
see.
highlights, man.
We'll see.
Those,
Yeah.
those specular highlights are just
Yeah.
too much.
That plastic shader they've got on everything. Just,
Looks good though, doesn't it?
I mean, it looks. It's
Whatever. Hey.
it's got looks.
We've
It's got an art style.
It has an art style.
got some questions, but they're very, very
Oh,
long.
there's one at the start at the top. That
Yeah, it's really long.
Can you do it?
It's like 6 paragraphs.
Should I-
Oh boy,
Hmm.
Nick doesn't like paragraphs.
You want to read it?
No.
Exactly. Okay. Why don't we do a whole bunch of questions next week? We had to catch up on the games we've been playing.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
And we're out of time, but we'll be back maybe in a couple weeks. Blake is moving house.
Yes.
So-
So we'll have a new podcast studio.
We'll see how we might have to push it a week. We'll see. But
Yeah.
we'll be
Shit,
back at some point.
do you think they'll be able to hear the soaring or whatever the
Oh,
hell's
dude,
happening outside?
Yeah, I want to
You
shout
can
out
hear
to
it.
all the drilling we've
Yeah.
been hearing
So
all
there won't
episode.
be any more drilling. I'll be in the Henderson suburbs, so there might be some Metallica in the distance. Like,
Oh
playing.
no, it's more likely to be like loud tinny reggae.
Also, just
Yeah.
wheels spinning out,
Yep. Yep.
loud cars with sirens on the. freaking
Just a family
bumper.
having a shouting match.
Yep.
There'll be some of that.
Yep.
We'll be back at some point in the future, unless
It should be. I don't think it's going to have to be pushed.
Well, we'll find out.
Like, I don't think so.
Cool.
Uh,
But if it is, blame Blake.
Yeah.
If it is, blame my timing.
you can
on
tweet at
stuff.
Blake at Front Seat Cast on Twitter,
Yep.
and you can say, "Hey Blake, why?
Yep.
Just why?"
I'll put up
And-
an old episode. Don't worry about it.
Facebook.com/FrontSeatCast. You can just message Blake directly on there and say why. FrontSeatGamer.wordpress.com. Just comment why. YouTube.com/FrontSeatCast. You can subscribe there, and down the bottom of every video, you can type why. Twitch.tv/FrontSeatCast is where you can say why to Blake while he's actually doing things live. We're on Spotify. You can't actually ask us why on there. But you can rate us on iTunes, and I think you can post comments.
Do people
such
even
as
use
why.
iTunes anymore for podcasts?
I actually don't know. I'm wondering if I should, because on
They're
our
all
Is this worth talking about right now?
Yeah.
I don't think so. And we'll be back in a couple weeks. Bye.
Wait. Bitrate?
What?
Are we gonna talk?
yeah, let's talk about bitrate. We need the bitrate minute. How was your bitrate when you were streaming?
Really good.
Solid.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward
Oh
to
my
getting
God.
fiber, and I
Get-
have a decent bitrate.
Get fiber,
Yeah.
and we're still rolling, man.
No. We're done. Tell me about your most embarrassing moment.
Embarrassing moment. So many. Fuck. I'd have to think about this.
Where do I begin?
I remember watching a mate, Anthony James, and he was like the stud of like our year.
Yeah.
He was like ladies' man, and he was trying out for like the first 15,
Okay.
but he was trying to do like field goals. What would you call them? Conversions
Oh yeah, yeah,
on the field.
yeah, yeah.
It must have just been real muddy up. But he would like step towards it, and he
Yeah.
would just tumble like, sideways on the field. And I just like I'd always think of that memory of him just rolling. That and it always cracks me up.
I have a good, embarrassing, but I like it because it's just funny.
Hmm.
Story of when I was like, must have been like 7 years old, and at lunchtime I saw the big kids who were probably just like a year older. They were like sliding on this mud like kind of puddle. They were like running and sliding with their feet.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm gonna give that a go. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
So I ran, went to slide, just instantly bailed on my butt and just like slid across the whole thing. Everybody laughed.
Yep.
And then I was like, oh no, I've got a muddy butt now. And then like the bell rang and we all had to go back to class. And I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have like a. My fear was that people would think I shit my pants. And then
so to cover it up, you shit your pants.
Yeah.
No, I did. Yeah, I did shit my pants.
And then I remember, like, on my way back to class, like, I was walking slowly so that, like, I don't know, I thought, like, people would not see it if everyone was ahead of me and I was behind.
Yeah, you're using the lines of sight.
Yeah. And then I saw some mates who were waiting for me, and I was like, oh, shit, they're going to see that I've got a muddy butt, and they're going to think I pooped my pants.
Yeah.
So I was like, I know what I'll do. I'll run really fast so I'm just a blur when I go by and they won't like see me because I'll just be a blur.
How old were you?
I was like 7. So I just sprinted as fast as I could past them. And like
hey, look, Blake shit himself and is running.
Yeah. To them, I was just like running by and they would have just clearly seen this like bloody butt.
Fuck yeah.
My
most embarrassing... Well, I've got a lot to choose from.
Was the poker rap that you did on the podcast?
I don't think that was embarrassing. I think that was.
No, I think that was cool. I'm surprised
glorious.
You were embarrassed by it though.
That was pretty embarrassing.
I thought it was fantastic
because of how embarrassing it was.
Because
for me.
I used to do the poker rap too. You know, I didn't think it was embarrassing.
You didn't do it publicly on a podcast.
Well, they didn't have podcasts
at the time.
back then.
No, you had to call into the radio for that.
Hey, the first time caller, long time listener, Bulbasaur, Charmander.
Calling up to the Rock. And
Want to hear me rap?
Hear me rap. I got a sweet rap.
I don't know if I've told
Give
the
me
story,
a beat.
but in 10th grade, it was the last like couple weeks of school, and every year they'd have like a school presentation night thing where they would do like the awards and stuff. I'm sure every school has something like this. And they wanted some people to do one of like they need a few groups of students to do performances throughout the night. And it was the last couple of weeks, and if you were doing it, you didn't have to like go to class. So I was like, okay.
Yep.
And so I got my friend Steven on board as well, and we went to this thing. And it turned out to be like a liturgical reading.
What is that?
Like a religious. I went to a Catholic school.
Oh, okay.
And so it was like meant to be. It's like script, like some dumb biblical thing.
Yeah.
And
like thou shalt not kill.
It was about.
You just repeat that.
So dumb.
Here's the line I remember. It was, the people who walk have seen a great light.
Oh, okay.
And it was nonsense. Anyway, the reading was dumb, but like doable.
Yep.
And then, but we were in this group and there were some other people. There's like 9 people altogether, I think, doing it. And one of the girls put her hand up and said, "Oh, we could do like movements to it."
Oh boy.
And Steven and I were like, "Oh no!" And the drama teacher loved this idea, and we so then we had to do dumb movements. And I remember we weren't like feeling super great about doing this performance, but we were like, fuck it, we're already on board. We get to take like a week off of classes or whatever. And then the night of the performance, we go out on stage and we start the performance, and within seconds, laughter in the audience begins, and it gets so loud so quickly. There were so many people laughing. It was every student, every parent. Teachers were laughing. Teachers were trying to tell the students to stop laughing while they themselves were laughing very hard. And I've never heard a bigger laugh. I've been to so many comedy shows. I've never heard a bigger laugh than the laugh we got for doing this dumb thing. It was so bad, and so like people were laughing so hard. But that was like the last night of school, and so then we had 6 weeks off. And I thought, how embarrassing, how humiliating. But at least like I don't have to see these people for another 6 weeks. Day one, I get back to school. People are like, "Oh my god, the presentation evening!" That's
man.
it was humiliating.
What were the movements like?
It was like, shh.
Oh boy.
We had to, I don't know why, but we
Yeah.
were doing like this and like this and like it was so dumb, and the actual reading itself was dumb, but the combination was, and the fact that we had to take it so seriously, I think it just tickled everyone for
so
whatever
good.
reason. I've never seen so many people laughing so loudly.
That's so great.
Oh man, so that was my most humiliating moment.
I had a
It's like 2,000 people.
2000.
Whoa! Wow! Oh my god!
Maybe less than that.
Whoa.
1.5 grand. It was like the full school, which is about
Yeah.
1,000 people, and then teachers and students.
Yeah. Wow.
And parents rather.
Another 1,000.
How long did
Like
it?
500 would be my guess.
How long did it take for this to die down? Like,
It didn't die down the whole performance. It was.
no,
it
I
was-
mean,
Like, for it to blow over.
yeah,
That you
for
weren't
to not
recognized
be,
as that guy.
Yeah, recognized as that guy.
Oh, I'm sure people still remember it.
Shit.
I can't imagine.
But was it through the rest of your like school career? People were like, "Oh, you were that guy."
I don't know that people really brought it up that much after that, but the fact that it was like
They
the first
knew.
thing someone said
Yeah.
6 weeks later was like that was
yeah,
bad.
yeah. That's and after a holiday too, when
Yeah, yeah,
when people have done other things.
yeah. They've done. In theory, they have
Yeah.
had been having fun, having their own laughs.
Yep, yep.
Oh, so rough.
That's awesome.
Shit. I was big into scooters when they came in.
Yep.
I think it's like third, fourth form, maybe even fifth form.
Scooters were pretty big. Yeah.
Man, I remember I was scootering around. I was one of the very few that had a scooter.
Oh shit.
There's a tuck shop and this little patio part outside. And I was meeting someone or just trying to get like back into the swing. And I remember just pushing myself towards the thing, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, this is a curb. I'm just gonna jump up it."
Oh shit.
Oh no.
And then, like, because my normal move would just be like put my left foot down and just step over with a bit of momentum. But this time, I thought I was confident enough. I thought I could just leap over this thing, jump, front wheel clips, and then I just go right over the top.
Yep.
And the
Oh
tuck
my
shop was
God.
like right
Yeah.
here. There wasn't anyone outside, so I just stood up and I was like, oh, just looking at myself, like mud on me,
Yeah.
and I didn't even dare look like to my right because I know people would have been like, oh. God." And I remember just sadly walking inside and just being like,
Oh man.
yeah, I think I ended up like taking off the sweatshirt, but yeah, that was pretty embarrassing.
I feel like I might win that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I
so.
think-
But I've
I
got
think
so
yours
many
is-
stories though. When you were telling that,
Oh,
shit,
me too.
I've had plays.
I have wet myself on stage twice.
Oh.
How old were you?
And
5 and then 6.
No,
wow,
that's not too bad.
but still, the story you told before, you say is more embarrassing than wetting yourself on stage twice.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh,
You would
man.
rather be known as the guy that wet himself on
Wait,
stage
I-
than the guy that
hey,
did those weird
You know what though? I'm
movements.
kind of proud of one of them because one of them was in the Opera House, the Sydney Opera House.
Now was
I
Steven
pissed
there?
myself.
Was Steven there with his socks?
Different school.
Yeah,
no.
it just started-
He just started mopping it up.
I got you, buddy.
I learned this trick.
Just loves mopping stuff up with the socks. Should pass me that thing. Should we give it a listen?